Did is the collective noun for nephews and nieces.
Well, I know. Baso Papa.
I know that too.
All right, so the news review now brought to you by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different, Star Assurance, your solid partner, and IAS Ghana. Absolutely, positively, the best in the market. Right, what's in the papers?
Now,
Go ahead, Ray.
Malvi wants me to start, so I'll go ahead. Now, I have to seek permission, Yeah, as is expected of,
A gentleman.
yes,
All right.
especially the one for the people.
An
Now,
imposter.
the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning, election 2020, EC saved Ghana $90 million. Reduced voting time from 3 to 5, to 3 from 5 minutes. To 3 to 5 minutes. It should have been longer than that. Yeah, the way it's written is under somewhere. Now, the terrible story you should know about is that there are 2,126 lives that were lost in road crashes. And this is according to the MTTD. Human beings, 2,126. This is more than 4 villages. We lost them, we cleared them. If they were living in a specific area, we would have had no person living in those 4 villages as we speak. That's how serious the matter is. It actually really means that anytime there was a crash at all, on the average 5 people died.
And these are more than 2,000 families affected as well.
Yes. So it's terrible, but well, I mean, there's a forum that's already seeking to improve the road traffic regulations, and it's related LI 2180. I actually think that there's a need for a more structural review than just the laws in the area. For example, I am convinced we should be in the position to clear virtually public transportation system in a way that will leave only buses and also cars we have certified to be in good condition. The pretense that those cars that run from Osu to Cantonments are worthy of any road cannot be.
But the
allowed to
problem is
continue.
not just the vehicles, it's the drivers.
No,
We need-
I'm coming there. The other
okay.
point is that who qualifies to drive should always be made to look like the highest standard for anything in the country. Because vehicles are very serious machinery. We have different standards for people managing different machinery. Even in factories, the standards should be way higher than currently existing. And we know that there are so many people who are driving who are not also licensed. The police should be in the position or should be removed from having the option of taking the, now it's going to be 5CD, right? Taking the 5CD or denominations what should be going up from these people and still keeping them on our roads. If we do not do that, no matter the number of laws we have, the human beings to implement them,
Yeah.
the system to run them will surely make them useless.
So related to that, at the
Yes.
same program, the transport minister made a few suggestions. So he says, for instance, don't let us give any discretion to anybody to seize license. And so we should challenge ourselves to produce a law that will enable the police to check your license there and give it to you immediately. Apparently, the DVLA has a certain system that can do that spot check.
Yeah.
And so the police MTTD, he was also asking them to
You know, the
adopt
police
that.
used to carry some gun, the gun that's used to check insurance to see whether you have the right insurance, right?
Oh,
So they
yeah.
come, they actually point it to it and say, oh, this is not fake. And so you're actually having the right insurance. Hopefully they can extend it to the other one. Now, there's a story about reconsidering the directive on the Ghana card. This is organized labor. So the General Secretary of the TUC is not TUC, actually NAT, as the National Association of Teachers, is very much worried about what's the current situation. Well, you know, the Controller and Accountant General issued these statements saying that if you don't take care, you will not be paid effective December 1 if you have not had your Ghana card and it's part of the system. Now, responding to that statement, NAT says that the decision is unacceptable, it's unfair and unjust. In fact, they are going to formally write to the controller today. And what they are demanding is that they either withdraw the directive or make sure the other parties involved, like the NIA, gets every Ghanaian teacher their card. Because they say the access to the card is not within their limit. In fact, they say they have asked their people, and the members of NAT says that most of us have registered, we've not gotten our cards. We need those cards submitted to us before you controller will come and implement laws that are outside our terrain.
And in the 6 a.m. news, we also heard from Nagrats,
Yeah.
Angel Kabono, making the point that this is a unilateral fiat by the controller and accountants.
The
General
I- the
Department. They have not
IC
engaged them.
Industrial and Commercial Workers Unions also says that it is a very worrying situation that ought to be reviewed immediately. But this is all connected to registrations and it's limited one. There's another registration that's an issue, right? So the Communications Minister says that her office is currently assessing calls for the inclusion of the national passport and other forms of identification in the ongoing SIM card re-registration process. Yeah.
Isn't that confusing?
This is what she's saying. It says that the law makes the use of the Ghana card mandatory, so we can find ourselves in a fix. But let's see how the discussion goes for now. And this is basically her saying that there was also another call for the use of passport as part of the identification document, and it's something that we in the Ministry of Stakeholders are also looking into. But let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens at this time.
Well, because no. So there's a question that some people are asking: if I am outside the country, and I'll still use the Ghanaian what they call a SIM card for roaming and other services, I am fiscally unable to do the re-registration with the telcos and the other grouping. What happens to my case?
So that
Yesterday,
came
the
out
NIA
yesterday.
said they are making
NCA.
provisions for that. NCA, thank you.
They're making
said
provisions.
They are
like
making
that.
provisions for that. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, actually, there seems to be a lot that is not yet solidified into
the
fixed
current
process.
system, yeah.
Even the idea of those who are visiting for longer than 30 days. This idea that you can only a SIM card can only be active for 30 days, even though we give people visas to stay here for 90 days and beyond.
So they have to consistently.
Basically, we'll probably.
I think it
need
comes
SIM
back
cards.
to the reality, really, that nobody is talking about. Of course, we don't expect government agencies to do this. The NIA, they don't have enough equipment. It comes back to this one. If they did, then we'll have it everywhere.
But this is what I don't understand. Because look, I support the ultimate goal here. What they are trying to achieve is really what we need. We need to be able to identify and locate all Ghanaians. It helps with everything. Whether it's crime, whether it's the banking sector, whether it helps with everything.
Yeah, but
so
some
it's
everybody
a good
agreed
thing
way
they are
back in 2000s.
Yeah, it's a good thing they are trying to do. I agree with it. But I don't understand the process. Every time they try and put it in the hands of some institution other than the NIA. All right, so in the past, when we were trying to do this, somehow it had to be courtesy of the Electoral Commission. Then later we were trying to do it now, and then it's sort of courtesy of the NCA. I don't get it. The NIA is the organization that has to provide these cards. The NIA is the organization that has legal right to check my biometric details when I enter them anywhere.
Yeah.
The information should be checked on the NIA database, the NIA servers. But somehow, NCA is also collecting the data to keep at NITA so that they will have my biometric details as
So
well.
why don't they reference them? So that's the question I asked the
So
other
the
time that-
NCA, obviously, they have a budget.
Yeah.
They are able to do this collection of biometric data at the telco points during this process. Why was that budget not given to NIA?
So I asked, can't there be a simple machine like a POS of a sort,
Yeah.
where you go to every single spot where you are doing the registration? Then all that they need is not collecting fresh biometric. It's verifying who I am.
Thank you.
So just put my finger on it and see there's the same Raymond.
That's
with
the
all
point
details.
I'm making. So the money that the NCA has spent to buy machines that are collecting biometric data and then storing that data at NITA, why wasn't that money given to NIA so that NIA can
Could
buy?
expand. Could stay within this remit and expand.
Charlie, something is afoot.
All right, let's jump into the Ghanaian Times newspaper, right? On the front page, coup d'etat in West Africa. ECOWAS reviews protocols, according to President Akufo-Addo, who is the chairperson of the Economic Community of West African States. Details of that in today's paper. Extraordinary session of ECOWAS Parliament opens in Winneba. And at International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, major earthquake hitting Ghana high. Country needs to build resilience, according to the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO.
Right. Gerard, which paper do you have with you?
Well, Kojo, I have Daily Guide here with me, and on the front pages of the front page of the Daily Guide, we have the major story where NDC incest guru in hot water. He gets 30,000 bail from the court. I think this issue in connection with the NDC guru is quite unfortunate. To have a daughter come out to accuse a dad of incest is something very, very, very grievous. And we are hoping that the laws of this land, the police and the court will get to the bottom of this. If whatever the outcome is, they would be able to work to see how best they can help this child, the girl, psychologically, because she'll be traumatized, feeling that a dad who is supposed to give that care to her probably led her through this unfortunate incident. We are praying and we're following as the media to also see how things are going to come out through there. And also we have our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, making a confession. It's a story on the front page of the Daily Guide also. That is, he says, it's painful to lose an election. It's painful to lose an election. And I think he made this comment during the meeting with ECOWAS dignitaries in Winneba, which is a very clarent call, especially to our African leaders, ECOWAS leaders. Unfortunately, some of them get too power drunk and they allow it to get into their heads, thereby weakening the democratic institutions which governments have already set up. And I think the best person to have spoken on this is our president, considering the number of times he put himself up for elections and also got to lose and finally getting to win and being the president of the country. So he has the experience to tell them what it takes. And one very important thing he said was that losing the election shouldn't give you the opportunity to think you were being cheated, because we are run by democratic institutions, which is the electoral commissions, which are mandated to organize and run free, fair, and credible elections. I think that if these institutions are allowed to operate, they would be able to operate very well. And that is the call our president is putting out to his colleagues, African leaders. Right. Then another major story on the front page is a new judge for Collins Dowda and others in a 200 million trial. I think this has to do with the housing issue, the Seglene housing issue. I know housing has been one of the major challenges in Ghana, especially the city. And if government, we always say that to whom much is given, much is expected. I think the Minister of Housing there, Collins Dowda, was given much, and it was expected that he delivers on what he was given. And if there are reports coming out to the contrary, it is fairly right that our institutions of state go out to work to see how they can bring this issue down to book. Was there actually mismanagement of funds? If there was, what is supposed to be done? I think that is what the law is trying to achieve now. And we pray that the law would take its course on this particular case. And finally, the Majority Leader Barrett speaker over anti-gay bill. I think for the past week till now, one of the major issues for discussion has been the anti-gay bill, which has been championed in Parliament. There's one very issue which is dear to Ghanaians, our culture, our society, and the international world is also watching. And so we are hopeful that our parliamentarians would do justice to this. They would argue it on the side of law and on morality. I think this is the only way we can have a compromise. We can come to an understanding to know if our society will accommodate LGBTQ plus or not. So these are some of the stories that are on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Thanks, Gerard. And right, I think it's time for the online review, right? Brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, and Enterprise Life. No matter how much you make for a living, Enterprise Life has life solutions carefully crafted for you. Enterprise Life, your advantage.
And here's some good news from Goyle. Goyle is rewarding its prepaying Go Card customers with 2 pesos discounts per litre on fuels. You also enjoy discount on lubricants at Goil stations nationwide. Elevate your goodness by joining Goil Go Club today and enjoy up to 3 pesos per litre discount on fuel, amazing discount on lubricant purchases, and free life insurance cover provided by My Life Insurance. So go ahead and accrue and contribute loyalty point to a social group to fund an approved CSR project, and above all, enjoy exclusive Goil branded campaign gifts. Join the Go Club by visiting Goil stations or offices. Visit their website, registration.goil.com.gh, and all their social media platforms. Goil, good energy.
All right, so lots of stories on myjoyonline.com. Go check them out, including how the minority is initiating moves for a review of the 92 Constitution. But right now, it's time for us to go for the BBC News.
It's brought to you by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Sethi Brothers.
It's a goal! Just as you carry your favorite club, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, close to your heart, the club also brings ultimate care for you, your family, and your property through Fabu Assure. Fabu Assure, powered by Star Assurance, provides ultimate cover for your vehicle, either through comprehensive or third-party cover. Protection for your home against fire, natural disasters, or burglary under homeowners policy, and peace of mind with the travel policy. Support your champion team and also enjoy reliable insurance cover from Star Assurance through Fabu Assure. Check with your circles and sign up for a policy or call 0507 03 9891. Asante Kotoko, Kumapima, Apimbeba. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
I nearly gave up on driving out of frustration. What hadn't I done? Purging, replacing electrical parts, changing my fuel pump, and still, the engine noise in my car won't stop. Then I met this guy who said I should try Goil Fuel. By the way, my name is Thomas. I did try Goil Super XP Ron 95.